First off, tell me your name.
John J. Day Jr.,
And what branch of the service were you with?
U.S. Army.
Okay, and where were you stationed?
Well, where was I stationed? I was actually stationed, I guess you'd call it, Camp Barkley, Texas. And from there, we went on maneuvers to Louisiana by convoy, truck convoy. And after we had that 2.5 months there or so, we went back to Camp Barkley, Texas. And then from there, we went to desert maneuvers out in Mojave Desert in California for 2.5 months, whatever it was. And then from there, we went back to Camp Dix, not back to Camp Barkley. We went to Fort Dix, New Jersey. We were there a couple of weeks, and we went to Camp Kilmer, New Jersey. We were there only maybe a week or so, and we went overseas to England. And in England, I don't know how long we were in England either before we were put on a freighter to go on the invasion of Normandy. Well, I was on that freighter, I guess, 2, 3, 4 days before we actually went over the side into a landing craft, into the beach, on Utah Beach. And I gathered it was June the 7th, around 3 o'clock in the morning. Because it was dark, you see a lot of traces going around there. It looked like the 4th of July. And we sat there on that road for a long time before we moved in and gathered into a hedgerow there for the night. And then the next morning we took off, and from there we're just going and stopping and whatever, you know, nothing that I can remember of things that happened or so, you know, until maybe later on, little things that happened when one time we went up to set up the gun, and of course we didn't get too well set up because our own bombers were coming over. Communications was bad, I imagine, and we got bombed by our own bombers in the town, so we took our gun and got out of there. And the next day we went up with bazookas instead of the guns, because the roads were so darn narrow you couldn't maneuver the guns around in there too easy. It was a 57 millimeter gun. And with the bazooka, the next day I didn't take a bazooka with me. The lieutenant had me carry the radio. For what? I don't know. Although I was the second radio man of the company. And after that, you know, a little thing there, I got a little scare with, in this one building I was standing there with waiting for the lieutenant, when a guy come around from another room with his gun lowered on me. I own one of, not my men, but an American, and he was so darn concerned about getting ammunition up to the machine gunners. And I told him, sir, don't worry about it, fella, because I don't think machine guns, the ammunition is going to do them any good. They're getting blown right out of their holes now. I could see them through the window there, being blown up into the air right out of the foxholes. And then the lieutenant come back, and we left. He told me to leave the radio there. Why, I don't know, but we went back to our little not camping area, but you could call it a camping area, where we were situated there for the night. And that's it. And then from there on, little incidents here and there. I don't remember them all from day to day, just little things. But the one first big thing going in on the invasion, I was, like, my 2 sons are Navy, my wife is Navy, my 2 sons are ex-Navy SEALs, retired SEALs, and I always telling them they're a bunch of troublemakers, but then they said, well, if it wasn't for the Navy, where would you Army guys be? Well, that's true too, but the ship freighter that was going on into the landing of Normandy there, they had 6 gun turrets on that thing, and they only had 2 Navy men to man each one of those turrets, and they needed 3 men on each turret. So the old story, you know, I want volunteers, you, and you. So I was one of the U's, and we got a call for man your gun stations. And this plane was coming in, he wasn't shooting at us, but he come in and dropped the bomb. The gunner didn't come nowhere near hitting him. And he dropped the bomb, and we got soaking wet up in the gun turret. That's before we went over the side of the ship, down the ladder on the landing craft to go in on the beach. This was before we headed for the beach area. And then, you know, little things after that on the beach, different things. And, well, I don't know what else you could say, but, you know, all little incidents. The main thing is I was taken off the front lines with combat fatigue, and I still haven't found out the dates or anything else, because the medical or the U.S. Army, they don't have any medical records of me being in the hospital in England. And I know darn well it was in the hospital in England because they flew me from France to England, from which I thought was a evacuation hospital, not an aid station, which I was supposed to have been taken to. But I still had my sidearm and my light pack and all my equipment, and when you go to an aid station, they take that all away from you. They don't let you have that anymore. You know, you take it away and you put you in a bed and cover you up and give you some shots and whatever they're going to give you to calm you down. But, well, all in all, it's pretty good, you know. I gotta.
Yeah, tell me about your medals.
The medals here are the ones I earned from the time I was in the thing. They're not in there very straight and online very good, but that was a fast job to doing it. I think I have to put it in a little bigger frame. That netting that you see behind there is the netting that we used to wear on our helmets for camouflage, to put in twigs and leaves and stuff in between those netting there. And that shard line that you see going around there, that's a shard line from a D-Day parachute that I picked up there when we contacted the 101st Airborne Division that jumped in behind enemy lines before D-Day. We contacted up, I don't know, a little town up there, and I seen a chute that was just laying there on the ground, and I took my bayonet and I cut the piece of shard line off of there, and I made a holster clip for it for your sidearm, and it goes onto your shoulder thing on your shoulder on your uniform, your jacket. That was with the 90th Division, Infantry Division, 358th Infantry Regiment, Anti-Tank Company, 1st Platoon, 1st Squad, 2nd Gunner on the 57mm guns.